top 10 cities in the US where housing is so affordable, you'll be yelling, "What's the catch?" Spoiler, there isn't one. We've uncovered spots where you can snag a home without signing your life away to a bank, which lakeside gem is practically giving cottages away. And where is the real estate market screaming, "Grab it before it's gone"? This isn't just a list, it's your ticket to homeownership. Stick around to the end, something incredible awaits. Hello. Today we're heading to Detroit, Michigan, a city that's seen its share of ups and downs, but is still standing. Once called the automobile capital of the world, it's now a place where houses sell for less than a used car. Interested? Let's go then. The average price of a house in Detroit is only $75,000. This is 4 times lower than the average in the States, where houses cost $300,000. And in some areas you can find housing for as little as $10,000 to $20,000, though often with a surprise in the form of repairs. Why is it so cheap? I'll tell you soon. Detroit collapsed after the auto industry collapsed. In the 50s, almost 2 million people lived here, and the General Motors and Ford factories hummed nonstop. But then the production went away, there were no jobs, and people started leaving. Today, there are about 620,000 residents, and unemployment is 10%, compared to 3.7% in the country. Plus, in 2013, the city went bankrupt with a debt of $18 billion, the largest municipal collapse in U.S. history. That's why houses here are almost free. What else about Detroit? Population, 620,000. The main industries are still the auto industry, manufacturing, and some logistics with technology. Climate? Winters are cold, down to -10 and below, with a lot of snow, up to a meter per season. Summers are warm, 25 to 30 degrees, but humid. But safety is a problem. 40 murders per 100,000 residents, 5 times higher than the U.S. average. Although the center and midtown are already better thanks to patrols and investments. But there are also pluses. Housing and rent are cheap. You can rent an apartment in the center for $800 to $1,200. The culture is awesome. Motown was born here with Stevie Wonder's hits, there are cool museums like the Institute of Arts, and the city center is coming to life, new startups, cafes, and the Detroit riverfront, beautiful. And now the downsides. Safety, it's better not to walk around the east side without preparation, abandoned buildings attract crime. The economy is recovering slowly, 30% of residents are below the poverty line, roads and schools are in disrepair. And also, empty neighborhoods sometimes resemble a ghost town. So who is Detroit for? Adventurers, artists, those who want a cheap life and are not afraid of challenges. Here you can buy a house for the price of an old car and become part of the city's revival. But you need courage. Do you think you would risk living here? Write in the comments. And now, we're in Memphis, Tennessee, the birthplace of the blues and where Elvis Presley first made his mark. It's a place with southern charm, great food, and below-average homes. Ready to learn more? Let's go! The average price of a house in Memphis is $135,000. That's almost half the price of the average in the U.S., where housing costs $300,000 and up. For a big city with such a history, that's a godsend. But why is it so cheap? I'll explain. Memphis is facing problems. High crime rates keep people away, and the economy has sagged after the decline of industry. The city once boomed with cotton and the Mississippi River, but today demand for housing is low. Plus, unemployment is about 7% higher than the national average, and many people are leaving in search of work. Hence the price is affordable, but with a cash. What about Memphis itself? 633,000 people live here. The main engines of the economy are logistics, because cargo goes through the Mississippi, even FedEx headquarters is here. Plus healthcare and tourism. The climate is subtropical. In summer it is hot up to plus 32 degrees Celsius with humidity of 80%. In winter it is mild, plus 5 to 10 degrees Celsius. There is almost no snow. Safety? Alas, the crime rate is high, 70 murders per 100,000 residents, one of the most dangerous cities in the USA. Safety? Now the pros. It's cheap to live here. The cost of living is 16% below the US average. The food and music are love. Barbecue with ribs, sauce and blues on Beale Street every night. And then there's Graceland, Elvis's home, a must-visit for fans. And the people, Southern hospitality in its purest form, always willing to help and smile. There are downsides too. There are few career opportunities. Unless you're in logistics or medicine, it's hard to find a job. Summer is a challenge. Heat, humidity, a feeling like you're in a sauna. And floods from the Mississippi are not uncommon, especially in the spring. So who is Memphis for? Lovers of music, food, and a Southern vibe. It's perfect for families, retirees, or anyone who wants a quiet life without spending a lot. But if you're a careerist or don't like the heat, think twice. What do you think of this city? Let me know in the comments. We are in Harlingen, Texas, a quiet town in the southern US with a Mexican vibe. It's warm, cheap, and calm, but it has its own peculiarities. Want to know what's what? Then let's go. The average price of a house in Harlingen is $115,000. This is almost 3 times lower than the average in the States, where housing costs over $300,000. For this money, you can get a cozy house with a yard. But why is it so cheap? Let's figure it out now. Harlingen is not a metropolis. Demand for housing is low due to poverty. 32% of residents live below the poverty line, which is twice the national average. Plus, the town is far from major centers, 4 hours to Houston, 3.5 to San Antonio. People leave for work, but their homes remain. That's why prices are so down to earth. What about Harlingen itself? The population is only 65,000 people. The economy is agriculture, citrus, cotton, small trade, and healthcare. The climate is hot and dry. In summer up to plus 35 degrees Celsius with a feeling of heat, in winter comfortable plus 15 to 20 degrees Celsius, do not expect snow. Safety? Crime is moderate, about 20 murders per 100,000 residents. You can live peacefully. Pros? It's super cheap to live here. The cost of living is 21% lower than the US average. The climate is warm year-round. Forget about down jackets. And it's quiet, cozy, and has a Mexican flair, tacos, mariachi music, and a leisurely pace of life. There are some downsides too. There's little work. If you're not a farmer or a doctor, it's tough. Summer is a real challenge. Plus 35 degrees Celsius, heat and dust. You can't survive without air conditioning. And yes, it's a long way to the big cities, so forget about the hectic city life. Who is Harlingen suitable for? Pensioners, lovers of warmth and silence. It is ideal if you want to save money and enjoy peace with a Mexican accent. Would you stay here? Write in the comments.